Okay, let's do it.
The It's Your Business Show is
There it
brought
is.
to you by Promo Experts. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture with marketing promotion tools and services. And by Publishing Concepts. Let Publishing Concepts LLC help you get your publishing project off the ground. It's Your Business is an informative weekly small business topic radio show for you, the listeners, to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to owning and operating your very own small business. Whether you're starting your own business or already a successful entrepreneur, then listening to how others succeed can help you be successful. Okay, audience, here are your hosts, Dr. Stan Fine and Jim Jump.
All right, audience, this is Dr. Stan Fine, and
Jim Jump.
welcome to the It's Your Business Show, and we come to you Monday through Friday on My Genre Radio Network, and we also come to you on Saturdays at 11 a.m. on Ferguson USA Talk Radio. We are aired nationwide every week, and we understand, Jim, from our exciting numbers that we're over 3 million listeners in the USA.
Board meeting yesterday with our group and a whole discussion about in roughly 6 months how did we get to 3.2 million.
We heard that it's because we have something that America wants. That it's urban core is the term I've heard kicked around.
Yeah.
You heard that term too?
Well, and through Cleveland,
Cleveland Roads, our board of directors and president.
And he's been contacted by people that are telling him this. It's not just a person, it's feedback he's getting.
Yeah, and we're glad that you're on the show. We're also, now we heard in St. Louis, we're also on KMTC-St. Louis. We're on a local internet station. We understand we're 117,000 listeners as of last week.
Mm-hmm.
So, who, pray tell, us on our show today?
Well, I think for our listeners, today is going to be something they probably heard about, and we're going to really explore it. And so we're going to do that with our guest, Mich Hancock. So welcome to the show, Mich, and she is the co-founder and license holder of TedX St. Louis. Told you were going to know at least that name.
Yes.
An innovative and thought-provoking organization that brings TED Talk experience to St. Louis. She interviews TEDx speakers and others, St. Louis movers and shakers, on her popular Mish Mash podcast. Of course, no one's got that one right. Mish Mash.
Mish Mash, I wouldn't forget it.
No, that's very clever.
Yeah.
So we'll hear more about that. Mich is also the CEO of 100th Monkey, a digital marketing agency. I'm going to ask you more about that. That provides solutions to companies of all sizes and budgets. To Mich, and let's start with your co-founder and license holder of TEDx St. Louis. How did it all come about? Kind of walk us through, how did you get asked and move into that process? So were you already doing some media things and you were close to it, or how did this come to you?
I'll tell you, and thank you, by the way, for allowing me to be a guest today. I'm super honored. So Steve Summers is my co-founder, and what it really began with was Steve was reading I believe it was Wired magazine, and he learned about TEDx Bozeman.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, wait, Bozeman, Montana has a TEDx. Well, what do we got going on here in St. Louis? So
that can't be, if we're not doing it in St. Louis, then that had to change.
We were, but it really hadn't taken hold.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to know Steve's brother, and Steve's brother contacted me and said, Mich, Steve is going to do this TEDx thing in St. Louis. Are you interested? And I, as a TED head, because I loved TED Talks, I found them to be, my favorite thing about a really good TED Talk is that feeling of, wow, I never thought of that. Wow, what a new way of looking at anything. And I was super excited, so we just started with, passion and drive. Like, let's get this thing going.
And how long ago is this?
This was over 8 years ago.
Oh, 8 years ago.
8 years ago. You are been entrenched in all this, no doubt about it. So you can, is an hour show enough today to kind of get through all that? I mean, I'm just going to ask the question.
I have I want to know a little bit more about TED Talks. I've heard of TED Talks, and I've heard of, so people said, are you listening to TEDx? I was listening to a San Francisco talk on cybersecurity on TEDx, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, this thing's called TEDx, and I got hooked into it. And after that, I'd go to YouTube TEDx. I always am looking at it at night when I don't want to watch regular TV because it's on video, you know.
Right.
So how did TEDx organization give us the background? I went to some of the history the other day, but would you give us the background? Because this thing is really big.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to talk about it a little bit.
It's global. So TED, which stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, that was started at least 35 years ago, if not.
Really?
Yeah, right. And it started really tiny. It was just like an intimate group of people. They would get together and talk about that whole thought of technology and entertainment and design coming together. So think of your iPhone, right? It's all there, right? And they saw this happening in the marketplace and where everything was going. And so they would have these small little gatherings and someone to talk about it. And it just kept growing. At the point where TED started to put their videos on YouTube, they went viral. And that's when they realized lots of people would love to experience a TED Talk, in real life. So they began to grant the licenses. And that was the TedX, and the X stands for an independently organized event. So it was a way for them to bring that TED experience to a local level. And there are, I want to say, at least 2,000 TEDx's around the globe of varying sizes. COVID, of course, put us off track for our local. We do an annual TED Fest where we get together with all of our TEDx buddies from around the world to learn how to be a better TEDx. I'm sure they'll bring it back soon, but
kind of like Deadhead.
There you go. We could have Dead TED. Yeah. No, that would be terrible. No. But it was a way for all of us. I feel like now I have this global community of people that I can reach out to, and learn from, so that we can continue to be the TEDx that we are always maturing and more than we used to be, kind of thing. And
so 8 years for you. How far back does it go before you got involved?
As far as TEDx are concerned, I want to say that they maybe started about 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay.
So
you were into it not too far after it was starting to reach markets and individuals that now can do their version of it like a St. Louis.
Well, to give you an idea, I was looking at Elon Musk on SpaceX doing a talk on the future of artificial intelligence and missions to Mars. And he was interviewed by a British guy, brilliant guy. And it was a 1 hour plus show. It was on YouTube, and I caught it, and I went, wow, that's great. And then he had Glenn Shockley, his president, talk about interplanetary space, and also it's from here to Tokyo in 30 minutes for a spaceship. So then it got into all that. And then I started looking at guitarists, and it was this famous guitarist on how's music produced and what does it take and what are our greatest moments. And you got all this better level of understanding behind, here's a piece of music, go listen to it.
Right.
All right. And so it was a place where you could go and get information. And they were played in LA and in New York and Australia. I watched one in Australia. I went, holy cow. But with that thought in mind, I'm talking about TED Talks. So, we know a little bit, but how did tell me about TED Talks, and also tell me about TEDx organization coming to be as part of this TED Talk. So give us the whole picture if you don't mind. And you can go a little bit longer on this. We really want to know.
Well, and so it really was from knowing that these talks were going viral and wanting to see what do other communities have. So from our standpoint, we have a group of people, mavens, if you will, that will bring potential speakers to us. But we also want
So
to
bring speakers to you.
To St. Louis?
potential speakers. No, so we're an interesting TEDx in that we really feature only people from our area.
Okay.
Our feeling is that St. Louis has just a rich, very vibrant community of people that are doing amazing things. So let's showcase our own people. And St. Louis, I feel, we feel, we need to know that we have this in our community, because sometimes we feel like we look at the news and we're like, yeah, okay, we know what St. Louis looks like to everybody else, but there's a lot going on here you don't know.
Right.
True.
I mean, there really is.
So examples of what we don't know.
Of what we don't know about TEDx.
In your 8 years, you probably are more up
just
to
throw a couple examples our
tuned
way.
in that most people wouldn't know because of how frequent you're bringing guests on.
Right. So I'll talk about a few past speakers that are
that's
really
absolutely
interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Sing for your supper.
That's exactly right.
Well, I mean, just some talks that maybe that would really change some perspectives and help people understand, that essence of a really good TED Talk. Mm-hmm. So one of our past speakers was Lola Von Ella. She's an international burlesque star. Now, you would think to yourself, really, there's going to be an international burlesque star on a TED stage? That's kind of interesting, right? That's going to get people to click through and see what this is all about. But she talked about being comfortable with your body, and it was a great talk. I mean, it was just so.
So, how long would that interview be? Is it like our show, an hour, and that start, or however long they want to go?
No. TED Talks and TEDx Talks are 18 minutes or less.
Okay.
So so it's easy to do an hour talk, right? You could talk about your expertise for an hour.
Yes.
Getting it to 18 minutes or less
can be a challenge.
Right? Every word becomes important.
Yes.
So,
and they know this, right? Before they come to see, sit with you and go through what they do, they know 18 minutes. That's it.
And honestly, we are working toward more to 10 to 12 minutes because
of what people are willing
to give their time up now.
Yeah. So you probably don't do a whole heck of a lot on intros because you don't have time to.
Well, we intro them, and then we leave the stage, and then they come on and do their thing. Yeah.
I want to go back a step prior to TED Talks. We're on national radio, TV. So I want to remind the audience that this is also, we have a TV camera in here. Hi, audience. We know we're not facing the camera.
That's okay.
We're going to wave hi. Okay, we apologize. Scott said to wave, so we got to wave at you. There you go. Hola. But anyway, so we are on the Christendom Television Network. The camera, I'm sorry. We are on the God Family Country Television Network, and we're also on Real TV, and we're at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day. So this same talk will also be seen there, and we're giving them an hour talk, of course. So I want to remind the audience that those millions of people we have are also there.
Awesome.
So we're not just doing radio. We're gonna get the TV out. We gotta let them know. Because we're growing so fast they don't know. We're teaching them as we go.
Yeah.
So did we finish that question? Because I'm ready to jump in. You ready?
Oh no, go.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about. I'm fine for TEDx now that I'm into it. I'm hooked. So what is I'll watch 3 TEDx talks in a row.
Yep.
Okay.
Easy to get sucked in.
So, what is the mission of TEDx? We talked about it. Let's go back to it. What is the mission of TEDx St. Louis? What are you going for here in St. Louis and keeping it to St. Louis? Why are you doing that, and what is the mission?
So we are looking to create a community of like an inclusive and equitable community of thought leaders. And that's the mission for our TEDx.
Thought leaders in St. Louis?
Thought leaders in St. Louis.
Okay.
And that we can showcase to the world As I shared, our speakers, they're having a global impact. Can I share another one I really like?
This
is the
having
moment.
You here. Only you know all the people that have
right.
I know all of them, exactly,
and now are part of that network.
Right.
So, yeah.
But we've had a woman on our stage, and she also was spoke at one of our virtual events during the time of COVID, named Teresa Carrington. And her organization is called 10 by 3. It was called the Blessing Basket. But,
familiar.
Just
what is that?
Amazing.
Yeah,
so when it was the Blessing Basket, the idea was, she wants poverty to go away and from the world. Now you think to yourself, that's a big ask, but if you met Teresa, you would say, oh, I think she might be able to do this. So she would go to these villages throughout the globe, find the woman in the village that she said had entrepreneurial DNA, and set them up to start making these baskets. A year later, come back and say, all right, now we got to get a whole business going. And other people in the town would take part in that. And what it was doing is these baskets, they were being paid prosperity wages. So now everybody can eat, not a problem. No, we have a school, we have cars, our children are going to college and university.
So you're suddenly bringing himself.
Unbelievable.
I had a chance to have her on my show when I was at Lindenwood.
Really?
And we just missed each other as far as, because of her schedule. And so that's the only reason I bring that up.
She's an amazing human being.
Because I really wanted her on my show.
She has since changed the name of the organization to 10 by 3 because now what she's teaching them is you have to have 3 sources of income to be sustainable and grow 10 times. So that is the
so reason. That's one of the type of TEDx shows. So give us another example of a TEDx show in St. Louis that is just for St. Louis. Well, it's for everybody.
And so live show, which we are really wanting to do, right? Bring it back to a live show would be coming up December 3rd this year.
So you're going to have a live show on, where is it going to appear?
It's going to be at the Ferrara Theater at America Center.
Oh, when she talked about a live show, it's a production.
Yeah, so this is an event. So
an event.
You purchase tickets. So any of the TED Talks that our TEDx Talks, other than the virtual ones, have been, people have come to a show to watch it.
You mentioned me in an email the other day that you may want to give a ticket to that, right?
Oh yeah, I would love to.
Tell us how people could reach you that hear you on this show.
Sure.
Nationwide.
Nationwide. Okay. Yeah. So I would love to give 2 tickets to. We have a women's event that will happen that afternoon on December 3rd. Then we have an innovation event that will happen that evening. So I'd like to give 2 tickets to both of those events.
How would they go about getting those or applying for those tickets?
Yeah, I'm going to give you my email address.
Please.
And it will just randomly pick somebody. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So it's Mich, M-I-C-H, at TedXStLouis.org. And just so you know, the St. Louis is spelled SAINT Louis.org.
Very good. So back to a live show. Are you staying to the 18 minutes to keep it in the same format? It's
going to be longer?
Yes, or do you do something outside of that?
Yes, there's a lot going on. We will have about 6 speakers for each of those events. We will also have something called Innovation Alley, which that will be like the coolest trade show you've ever been to. It's all about innovation and what's up and coming and what's happening next, basically.
Okay.
I was thinking, Jim, I didn't want to interrupt, but my mind never shuts up. I was thinking that we are experimenting with remote shows for our millions of listeners, and maybe that's God pointing us. I really am a believer in God things. God pointing us in a direction to talk to you about doing one of our live shows from the My Genre Radio Network. Right, Rich? Our board is helping run the show today. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah.
He's in the back there. Rich Pisani, who's a well-known St. Louis icon.
Well known.
Yeah, but let's have a discussion.
And why has Rich not been on TED Talk?
Yeah,
Rich. Hey, Rich.
He's a founder.
Rich, it sounds
Hello.
like you need to have a meeting with
Yeah,
me.
we got you scheduled.
What do you think? Do you think? I mean, we wouldn't charge you for it, but it should be neat to. Our president of our board's going to be here. We're going to be working on our studio that. We could create a video and audio show.
That'd be awesome, and I
To
will.
give
I would
you
love to
that-
talk to our
that different
production
level
people
of
to find out where.
exposure.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
just-
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because we could play all of it, or a full day of it, or six
Yeah.
presentations.
Yeah.
And then it'll live in perpetuity on our networks. We played a
and that's
day.
too-
So we'll
that
have
you-
to talk. It would be awesome for you guys to get to talk to some of the speakers. I will tell you, this is an interesting thing. So we just got a level 2 license, which they only give to one TEDx in each area.
Okay.
And I don't exactly know if we can broadcast or not. I have to learn all of the.
We'll find out.
But we'll find out.
So your inventory of speakers for you here in St. Louis, is that housed in one place? How long does that inventory live? Can I go from 8 years ago and find that interview? Well, how does that all kind of put in place
Yeah. How do we
and made
do it?
available?
How do you find us?
Yeah, and made
Okay.
available, because
Right.
that's an important thing of shows in general.
I think so.
I mean, how do I find a show that maybe you did your first year, for example?
So if you YouTube and if you look up now, I will tell you, we used to be TEDx Gateway Arch. So
See, and
that's how we
again,
started.
another part of
So we were TEDx
addresses.
Gateway
Right.
Arch, and you'll want to look up that for the talks we did previously. Over the past year and a half, we are now TEDx St. Louis. That came up for. It came up and I applied for it and got it. And
Did you want to change
I
the name?
did. We
Okay.
really did. And TEDx actually wanted the change too.
Mm-hmm.
They are moving away from, like, there's a TEDx Mile High in Denver and a TEDx Puget Sound in Seattle. They're moving away from landmarks and they want more the city name.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gateway is more to
Right.
St. Louis.
That could be all
history.
kinds of
And
things.
Yeah,
St.
right.
Louis just, as our mission, states that we're looking for that community. We want the whole St. Louis community involved with us, and
Sure.
and we really are looking, not just to produce an event and have people come to an event and like, thanks, we'll see you next year. We really do want to have a community around what we do.
All right, we're getting close to break, but I want to bring that date up again
Yeah,
in
that's-
that event
that's
because,
fine.
yeah,
We'll
I
go with
think that's
Absolutely,
important.
yes. December 3rd.
No, we're good. We got a few minutes.
Yeah.
December 3rd, tickets are not on sale yet, but if you go to TEDxstlouis.org, that's our website.
Right.
Again, spelled out SAINT Lewis.org. And that's where we will be announcing when we're going to have our early bird tickets.
And how
what
much
our-
will tickets be, do you think?
We haven't landed on the exact price, but they're going
It's
to
gonna be
hover
fair.
around 75-ish. We also will accept some applications at some point for people
And how many
that can't
people
afford the
will
70.
be at the event then? Is there kind of
about
a
1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
okay.
get about 1,000.
She says it so calmly.
Yeah, that's a
You put
lot.
1,000 people anywhere.
Yeah.
When we tell people we got 1 million or 3 million, that doesn't dawn on
They're in
them.
the
Those
head.
are real bodies
Yeah.
that came to listen to our show. So
Right.
you're going to get those 1,000. We're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
help you get those 1,000.
I know
Exactly.
you are. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
We're
right.
going to do that.
Sure.
Well, I think we're getting early, Scott, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to break for our sponsors, and we're going to let you take control of the station and give it back to Scott, and we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes after these announcements. We didn't leave you. Hang on. Can we talk, Scott? Wave when they're playing.
Commercial Energy Consultants is a 10-year-old national company focusing on middle to large commercial accounts. CEC offers these companies services by lowering their electric and natural gas rates. CEC does not charge for this service and has over 10,000 happy clients with almost 2 billion kWh/therm under contract. What makes CEC different is their reverse auction. Commercial Energy Consultants offers a way to have available suppliers in 17 states bid openly for your energy business. Our mission is clear: bring our clients the low bid for their energy consumption. In fact, because our competitive auction does renew an energy contract without talking to us, why pay more for the exact same power? For more information, go to www.trycec.com or call 877-212-1400. That's www.trycec.com or call 877-212-1400.
Too late, you're hacked. Defending Your Small Business Computers and Networks is a new book written for small businesses with a limited understanding of IT with cybersecurity challenges. This book introduces critical IT terms and concepts and is intended for owners or professionals handling their business IT department with narrow expertise. Even though one may think cybersecurity is taken care of, understand that cybersecurity requires ongoing management and knowledge that extends beyond the everyday IT. Businesses are vulnerable and may permanently close within 6 months after a breach by failing to understand and implement proper cybersecurity defenses. Author Tony Zafropoulos is a systems computer expert of 10+ years and a certified information systems auditor. Tony uses his strong IT background to protect your computers and networks against cyber attacks. To order your book, go to fixvirus.com. That's fixvirus.com.
The It's Your Business Show is brought to you by Promo Experts. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture with marketing promotion tools and services. And by Publishing Concepts. Let Publishing Concepts LLC help you get your publishing project off the ground. It's Your Business is an informative weekly small business topic radio show for you, the listeners, to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to owning and operating your very own small business. Whether you're starting your own business or already a successful entrepreneur, then listening to how others succeed can help you be successful. Okay, audience, here are your hosts, Dr. Stan Fine and Jim Jump.
The 1,200,000 women and men of Rotary have accomplished extraordinary things. They've taught millions of people to read, worked toward world peace, and have nearly eradicated a crippling childhood disease from the face of the planet. But each of those 1,200,000 women and men know they could accomplish so much more if only they were 1,200,001. Find out what an impact one person can make. Learn about Rotary at Rotary.org.
Commercial Energy Consultants is a 10-year-old national company focusing on middle to large commercial accounts. CEC offers these companies services by lowering their electric and natural gas rates. CEC does not charge for this service and has over 10,000 happy clients with almost 2 billion kWh/therm under contract. What makes CEC different is their reverse auction. Commercial Energy Consultants offers a way to have available suppliers in 17 states bid openly for your energy business. Our mission is clear: bring our clients the low bid for their energy consumption. In fact, because our competitive auction does renew an energy contract without talking to us, why pay more for the exact same power? For more information, go to www.trycec.com or call 877-212-1400. That's www.trycec.com or call 877-212-1400.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to the It's Your Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Fine.
And Jim.
Hey, Jim, welcome this afternoon. We get here in spite of ourselves.
That's right.
Do you know? And audience, we want to remind you, you're listening to the It's Your Business Show. If you want to go find us on our shows and where we're at, go to itsyourbusinessradio.com. That's itsyourbusinessradio.com. And you'll be able to click play live there. But when you click play live, you'll get to the My Genre Radio Network, which is nationwide, Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. You'll be able to hear this show every day, those days. You'll also be able, at 2 p.m. that day, get on television with God, Family, Country. It'll tell you how to get on there, and there's a 1-hour show there. And at 6 p.m. every day, we're on the Real Television Network, REEL.
Yep.
So you can be instantly, not just audio, but video. And on Saturdays, we produce the show in the studio of Ferguson, USA, Talk Radio. So the show is live today. Right, Jim? We believe in live radio. And the motto of It's Your Business Radio is help small business America help itself. So anybody that's on is on that motto. And who's on today with us, buddy? And what question do we have?
Well, Mich Hancock, and she is the person that has the TedX St. Louis, where interviews are conducted on a how often basis?
Well, right now we are doing one show a year.
One show. Okay.
But you know that could change. We've done different things over the years.
Sure.
COVID, of course, sets you off on a different track.
One show a year or one show a week?
Well, for TedX St. Louis, yes, it's we'll do one big event that'll be about 12 speakers throughout the day, because we've got actually 2 events happening on
What's
one day.
that event called again, since we're on it?
Our event by the day is a women's event, and the theme of that is what's next, and then what now will be that evening, and that's an innovation event.
But if I want to listen to TEDx St. Louis on a regular basis, where do I go?
So it's not a regular basis kind of thing. It's a produced event, and then from that event we'll have talks that we will film and edit and what have you, and then we upload those to TEDx, and then they put them out there for us.
Okay. How often do they get out there?
On
average.
Once our event is over, it's usually 3 or so months, and then they'll show up. So March of early next year is when the new ones will be there. But there's a ton of talks from our past events. So if you go to YouTube, look up TEDx Gateway Arch, that's who we were for a number of years, or now TEDx St. Louis, you will find our talks.
And as we're now talking about TEDx St. Louis, it's 100% volunteer run.
It is.
So you obviously need help. How would somebody that loves this and says that would be something I certainly would be interested in, what would be the next step for them?
Sure. So if you go to our website, it's TEDx St. Louis, again, SAINT Louis.org, and there is a section called Get Involved. And in Get Involved, you can go right in there and fill out a volunteer form that will, ask you what kind of volunteerism are you looking for. Is it day of event? Is it marketing? Is it production? There's many different places you can play.
Okay.
So audience, those